Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic, Keek on the mic. People, this the intro.
Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you also follow me on all my social media platforms to stay connected with all Keek on the Mic news. So, Bears fans, obviously the other day, I gave you guys a quick update on OTAs and how Justin Fields was doing, but apparently, reportedly coming out of Bears' second week of OTAs, another unexpected name has had a great camp so far. So I just wanted to come on here on Keek on the Mic and share that quick little update with you guys. According to former Chicago Bears coach Dave Wannstedt, he joined 670 The Score. And what he told 670 The Score is that left guard Teven Jenkins is having a great camp so far. This is the exact words he had to say on 670 The Score. Check this out, Bears fans.
And I'll tell you what. I never was up close to the guy and saw him work. But Jenkins, okay,
Teven Jenkins?
Teven Jenkins.
Left guard.
He is a giant, and he is having a great camp. If he can keep his head on straight, I'm telling you, with Whitehair at center, you got Jenkins at left guard, you got the free agent Davis at right guard.
Who's not there.
The other guy who I was really impressed with, Braxton Jones at left tackle, he's not a big – height-wise, he's got height. But and I said to I don't know if it was Flus or one of the two of them. I said, God, I said he looks great. I mean, he's not a big sloppy lineman, and he was pulling. They were doing things with him, moving around. He really looks like he is in fantastic shape.
Well, that's his calling card, is being able to pull and being able to move and be athletic. Where he got beat last year was in bull rushes. So supposedly he's been working on that all off season. You seeing any strength from him as you watch him?
Well, they can't do anything live. If you go live, then all of a sudden it's there's you get penalized. Mm-hmm. And then you got the rookie, right over at right tackle. So and he looked good. For what you could see.
So, Bears fans, obviously, Coach Wannstedt had a lot of good things to say, not only about Teven Jenkins, but obviously he said a lot of good things about Braxton Jones and just the offensive line in general, which is really good news, not only for the Chicago Bears, but for someone like Justin Fields that is trying to have a breakout year this season. And I know we talk a lot about Justin Fields and how we want him to excel as a player in year 3 for the Chicago Bears, but Justin Fields will be nothing without the Chicago Bears offensive line. If the Chicago Bears offensive line is better, and we've talked about this a lot, if the Chicago Bears offensive line is better, we all understand that will help Justin Fields tremendously be the player that not only he wants to be, but the player that the Chicago Bears want him to be as well. But obviously, Coach Wannstedt got a chance to visit with not only Matt Eberflus, but he got the chance to talk to Ryan Poles as well, and a bunch of the Chicago Bears coaching staff during the second week of OTA period for the Chicago Bears. And like I just mentioned, he had a lot of good things to say, particularly about Teven Jenkins. We've also talked a lot about Teven Jenkins, about how he's made the switch from right guard to left guard now. And reportedly, according to Wannstedt, that when he got a chance to watch Teven Jenkins up close, he has had a great camp so far. And obviously, when you look at a guy like Teven Jenkins, he has been through a lot. Obviously, the Chicago Bears have moved him all over this offensive line. So you have to give Teven Jenkins kudos for being flexible for the Chicago Bears. But obviously, when you look at Teven Jenkins, obviously the Chicago Bears would love a breakout from a guy like Jenkins. Obviously he showed a lot of signs last season at right guard that he can be a very dominant run blocker for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, he was one of the better run blockers for the Chicago Bears, and he was actually one of the more dependable pass blockers as well for the Chicago Bears offensive line in terms of last season. So, obviously, Teven Jenkins, we all know this is the perfect offensive lineman, and the offensive lineman that Ryan Poles is looking for is a guy like Teven Jenkins. So, obviously, it's really good to hear that Teven Jenkins is tearing it up so far in OTAs. And the Chicago Bears moving Teven Jenkins to left guard was actually a really smart move by this organization. That allows Teven Jenkins to dominate on the left side of the line, where now you have two of your better run blockers in Braxton Jones and Teven Jenkins on one side. Obviously, that leaves Nate Davis to still play his natural position on the right side of the offensive line. So it works out for both parties, and it makes our offensive line better. So obviously that was the smart move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears organization to make that switch. And I personally think that it should yield a lot of positive results. I think we understand that when you look at a guy like Teven Jenkins, it never was about talent. Coming out of the NFL draft a couple of years ago, there was a lot of analysts that saw Teven Jenkins as a first-round talent. The problem with Teven Jenkins is, can Teven Jenkins stay healthy for a full season? And I think that's the big concern for the Chicago Bears. If Teven Jenkins can stay healthy for an entire season and dominate the entire season for the Chicago Bears, I think Teven Jenkins should be a mainstay for the Chicago Bears for a long time. And I think we can even argue that Teven Jenkins, if healthy, is probably one of the better, if not the best offensive lineman that the Chicago Bears have on this roster right now. And I think I can make a true argument when I say that. So obviously, this comes by no surprise. I know there's a lot of Bears fans that love Teven Jenkins, but it's really good to hear that early on in OTAs, he is doing really well. Playing that left guard spot, which I had no doubt in my mind that he would be able to make that quick adjustment. But it's really cool to hear the update on Teven Jenkins, and I hope it works out for this offensive line, and I think it will. All in all, Bears fans, I just wanted to give you guys that quick little update on Teven Jenkins and what Coach Dave Wannstedt had to say. And if what Coach Dave Wannstedt had to say about Teven Jenkins is true, I think Teven Jenkins can for sure be a fixture for the Chicago Bears offensive line for a long time. Before I let you guys go, Bears fans, let me ask you guys this. How do you guys feel about what Coach Dave Wannstedt had to say about Teven Jenkins? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Kick on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Kick on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You've been listening to Keek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.